Hello, good morning friends. Meet again with Miss Asmi in our English class for grade 2. Today we are going to study about materials that we call postcard. I wish that you ever see or maybe hear something about postcard because honestly, in fact, the existence of a postcard is no longer being used by people these days. Why we no longer use postcard? Because they have been replaced with a new technology that we call smartphone. We no longer use or we no longer write a postcard to our friends or family because we have phone to communicate with friends. But we still need to know that there is another way to do our communications with friends. So, let's study about postcard. When do we usually write a postcard, friends? A few years ago, when we haven't used smartphone to communicate with our friends, we write a postcard when we are traveling or when we are doing a trip to another place. Then when we are in our traveling and we want to send an information to our friends or family, we wrote a postcard to them. If you can see here that this is the front side of a postcard. They are usually have pictures of a famous landmark or maybe a famous place from the country that we visit. For example, if we are visit Jakarta, then the postcard that we can find in Jakarta will have a picture of Monas Tower. Or for example, if we are visiting Bali, then the postcard that we can find in Bali will have a picture of Kuta Beach because Kuta Beach is the famous place that we can find in Bali. And also the same if we are visiting another country, then the postcard that we will find in that country will have a pictures of a famous place that we can find in that country. If you take a look, that these are some example of a postcard that we can find from around the world. While this one is the back side of the postcard. In this side, we usually use to write down everything that we need to write for our friends or for our family. Well, if you want to know what that we need to write in our postcards, then Miss Asmi will explain it one by one. Let's start with the first thing that we need to write on our postcard is the recipient address. Okay, so on our postcards, we need to write down the full name and also the complete address of the persons that will get this postcard. So for example, you want to send this postcard to your friends, then you need to write down their full name and also their complete address on the postcard. After writing down their names and also address, then we need to put a stamp on our postcard. Where do we put the stamps? We put our stamp on the top right side of our postcard. How many stamps that we can put on our postcards? You can put 1 or 2 stamps. Where can we find stamps? We usually can find stamps in a post office. Okay, so if you want to buy stamps, you can visit a near post office and then buy 1 or 2 stamps. After stamps, then what is the next things that we need to write down on our postcard is greeting. We say the greetings to the person that we will give this postcard. For example, you are writing this postcard to your friends, then you need to greeting to them by say dear friends or dear mom or dear cousins. Okay, after the greeting, then we have to write down what are the message that we want to say to our friends or family. But friends, the message that we write on our postcard must be short. We cannot make a quite long sentence in our postcards. Why? Because the space that we have on the postcard is not quite big. So make sure that you write only an important information that you want to tell to your family or to your friends. Well, let's take a look these pictures. If you ever open your workbook, page 58, then you will find these pictures. This is an example of a postcard. If you can see here, there is a name, Mrs. Chan, 6 Hill Walk, Singapore, 479216. Mrs. Chan is the one that will receive this postcard. Okay, and then this is dear grandma. This is the greeting of the postcard. And then there is a message for a grandma from Ben. So this postcard is from Ben to Mrs. Chan. Who is Mrs. Chan? Mrs. Chan is Ben's grandma. Okay friends, it's actually quite easy when we study about postcard. Well, now let's take a look another example of postcard from around the world. This is the front side of a postcard, friends, that full of pictures of a famous landmark or a famous place from another country. Okay, for our assignment today, I need you to read this postcard. I need you to read carefully this postcard, because after this you will have a Google form that you need to answer. Well, thank you friends. That was our material for today, which is about postcard. Thank you for your attention to this video, and see you to our next meeting. Bye bye.